Welcome back to my Darling Bride podcast, powered by Refuge and Fortress Network. On this podcast, we dig, we discover, and we discuss precious gems for the building of kingdom homes and relationship. My name is Emmanuel Ludansi, and I'm joined today by
Lonnie O.
And today we're going to continue on where we left off, the part 2 of how do we make marriage work, how we are making marriage work for us. And we're continuing part 2 because when we released the first one, a lot of people asked us questions and said, can we answer some other questions on the podcast and provide some insight as far as what we do in our home to make marriage work for us. All right, so if you're yet to subscribe to this channel, please go ahead and do so. Don't forget to like, comment, and share with somebody that you believe is going to be blessed by this episode. So, as a quick background statement, I should say, or what do you call it? A disclaimer. If you will. Yes. We strive to build according to blueprint, and the blueprint that we use is the Bible.
The Bible.
So
that's our standard.
There's a lot of, and the reason why I'm saying that is because I'm actually in a series this month called Choices in Eagles Night, and on Friday, next week Friday, I'm gonna be talking about choices. I'm gonna be closing that series on choices to really make it clear that life is all about choices. And you can choose however ways you want to live your life.
Absolutely.
You can choose who you decide to believe. You can choose how you want to live your life, how you want to run your marriage, whatever. You can choose. This is the beauty of life. It's all about choices.
Yeah.
We've chosen to use the Bible as the blueprint for our lives. So that's if you want to talk about how we make marriage work, that's one way. We have a blueprint, and our blueprint is the Bible.
Exactly.
Period.
Yep.
So I just want to put that disclaimer out there because that is what you have to first understand about what we do to make this marriage work for us. Whenever we're confused about anything and we don't know what to do, we run to the Word and we say, okay, what does the Bible say about this thing? Because we don't try to use head knowledge to run anything. It's according to the Word. And that's enough for us. That's enough for us. We're not trying to use psychology. We're not trying to use social media. We're not trying to use somebody else's life to live our life. We're saying, what does the Word say about this matter? It's worked for us in every other aspect of our life.
I was going to say that.
And it's working for us in marriage.
Exactly. When something is working for you, you don't stop doing it.
No.
You put more emphasis on it. It's truly, and that's the honest truth. It's truly been working for us. So now somebody asked this question. They said, how do we keep romance and friendship alive in our marriage? How do we do that?
How do we keep romance and friendship alive in our marriage?
Yeah.
Okay. So the way I would answer that question is, for me, a very long time ago, I decided that you were my family. Not just from the standpoint of, I married you and, we built a family together. No, I looked at you as someone I could not get rid of. Like, for example, I have a brother. Yeah. No matter what I do, he's my brother forever. There's nothing you can do about that. Just by nature, he came from the same womb as me. He's my brother. You follow what I'm saying? You can't really change that. You follow what I'm saying? And so in the same breath, I look at my wife as my sister, if you will, and somebody that's not ever gonna stop being my sister. Right. You understand what I'm saying?
It's forever.
It's forever. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to. I've concluded that a long time ago. So what does that mean? That means that you are here forever, and that also means that I have to figure out a way to live with you and make our relationship fresh at all times, even as we're together.
Right.
So we build friendship and romance by, first of all, having that understanding that this is not going anywhere.
It's a choice. It's a choice you made.
We have that understanding. This is not going anywhere, so you might as well make the best of it.
Yeah.
And then we are actually friends. we are actually friends. In other words, everything you would do with a friend, we do together.
Right.
Other than the fact that we're couples, whatever you have, whatever kind of relationship you have with your friends, we have those kind of relationships as well.
Yeah.
That's number one. So what does that mean? You're my gist partner.
Yeah.
You're my
hangout partner.
Yeah. You know, we go out together.
Come to me for advice. We go to each other for advice, right? There's
everything you would do with a friend. We do it together.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So so there's a place for being couples, and then there's a place for being friends.
Yeah.
And you have to start looking at your spouse as a friend, not just from a cliche standpoint, like, oh, that's so cliche. No, I'm talking about if you weren't married to this person, would you still be friends with them? You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you weren't married,
somebody that you would be friends with,
regardless, exactly. So outside of the fact that we're dating and we're married, you would be a really good friend too.
Right.
It's just a plus now that I have you as my wife. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then as far as the romance part of things is concerned, we are intentional about dating. We're intentional about going out.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, there was a point in time that we wanted to go on a date. We didn't have anybody to watch the kids.
Yeah.
We had our two oldest kids in school already.
Yeah.
And our baby, she's not in school yet, but we found a daycare who would take her in that day and said, okay, you know what, here, hold her for us for about 6 hours. Let us go do us.
Exactly.
Yes, it cost us some money, but you know what? It was well worth it.
Yeah.
Because that is the intentionality that we have in building our romance and our friendship and keeping things fresh.
Absolutely.
Another thing that we do is we are so random about it sometimes. Like randomly we'll say,
just
hey,
wake up.
Let's go out.
Let's go to brunch.
Hey, let's take a trip.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go to the movies.
Very random.
Random. The most random times, the most random things.
I remember one time, it was like a couple years ago. I don't know if it was my cousin or somebody called us and they're like, oh, what are you guys doing? They were like, we're on the way to Florida.
Literally.
Like, what? We literally, and I'm telling you, we literally just woke up that day and said, you know what? Let's just go. Let's take the kids. Let's just go. Let's just go have time. Let's go have fun. And we just got up and drove 13 hours to Florida. And it was a good time. And we've done that on multiple occasions, even with ourselves as well. Even if it's local, like we're just like, you know what? We wake up this morning, we have a different vibe. Like, you know what? Let's just go out. Let's me and you just go out. Let's go do this and all that. Yeah.
And if you notice, these are the small gestures. Yeah. They're not massive things. It's not like I'm buying you diamonds every day.
Exactly. Right.
Or we're going to Cabo or taking
diamonds is nice. Now, I'm just now that you say that, diamonds is nice. Now
of course.
I'm just messing around.
but what I'm saying is, it's the little things that count.
And I was gonna even say this the other day. We were home actually talking about the little things. Right, we were home and we had decided we wanted to make a specific dish, and literally we were both in the kitchen together, just kind of working it out and doing that. And you know, for some people they could look at it and be like, well, that's not a big deal, but for me it was, because it was like, and you do that a lot. It's not even just that one time. Like there's times where it's like, okay, we're cooking a meal, I'm making something. There's sometimes where I cook and I'm making food for everybody, boom boom boom, it's ready, you're working, or you have a meeting or whatever the case may be. But times where like we're doing it together, you just jump in the kitchen, all right, what needs to be done? Okay, you do this, I do this. Those little things matter, because in the midst of us doing that, we're talking, we're chatting, we're laughing, we're watching our favorite show on TV. We're watching our favorite show on TV and we're laughing and we're just having a good time. But that in and of itself is a date. It's a good time. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be so planned and elaborate and it's like we gotta spend just spending quality time together. Sometimes it could be we're putting away laundry. I've washed clothes for like a week and now it's time to put it away and I'm just looking at you like, boy, who's gonna do this? Mountain. So I start doing it and you jump right there in with me and and some people might look at it like, oh, why are we talking about things that are so minute or bare minimum? It's not bare minimum because people don't do it. Spouses don't spend this time together. They don't help each other. They don't see each other as equal partners. It's always that imbalance in their home where they're not partners. So these little things does matter. It is not bare minimum. If you can take time out to help me out with things that I do that I've taken upon myself, that is my responsibility, and vice versa, and you take time out to help me, and in that time that we're we're doing it, we're actually enjoying each other's company.
Yep.
Trust me, you can't beat that.
It's like I said, it's the little things that count, but also is the notion of making your spouse feel like they're not alone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're not alone. Not just that, oh, you know I'm here for you. You know you can always come to me and talk to me. No, I'm talking about you are actively here.
Here, exactly.
And you're not just here, you're a participant.
Yeah.
In everything that we have going on.
Yeah.
You're a participant in that. You're not just present.
We do life together.
Can I just emphasize that? You're as a spouse, don't strive just to be present. Strive to participate.
Yes.
Be involved
in each other's
lives. Be involved in the raising of the kids. Be involved in the cleaning of the house. Be involved in the cooking of the food. Be involved in everything. This is going to lead me to my next point. The other question that was raised was finance. So we're talking about romance, friendship, and finance.
Yeah.
Romance, friendship, and finance, right? Yeah. Somebody was like, how do we handle finances as a team? This is what I'm talking about, the present and participation thing.
Yeah.
We are involved so much that everything is commingled.
Completely.
Everything is together.
Completely.
Literally everything.
Everything. I don't know how to explain it.
This is how we handle money, right?
Yeah.
And again, keep in mind, we're talking about us.
What works for us.
Exactly, because everybody's situation is different. Everybody's scenario is different. The reasons why you got to do what you got to do, the way you got to do it, only you know. We're not going to tell you you're a bad couple or you're a bad person because you don't do it the way we do it. No, we're just talking about what works for us. Again, being together 14 years, married 8 years and counting. It's a beautiful thing. God is good. And this is what has been working for us, right? When it comes to our finance, we actually put money together. Everything comes in the same pool. Everything, literally. And then we do distribution. We can distribute savings into savings account, distribute this into that, whatever the case may be. When it comes to finance, let's say, for example, a member of her family needs money. They understand that asking her is asking me. Exactly. And if we give it, it's we gave it, not just she gave it, right? And so there's an understanding to come and say thank you and thank your husband too.
Absolutely.
If a member of my family came and said, yo, can you send me something? Can you blah, blah, blah? They understand that yes, you're asking me, but really you're asking me and my wife. Yeah. And as you're saying thank you to me, you must be saying thank you to her. Yeah. That part is not shared. You have to reach out to the wife or the husband and say thank you. Exactly. Because I know your hand was in this thing. Exactly. I know you had a part to play in the giving of this. This is not so that vocabulary of my money.
It doesn't exist.
Not in our home. It just doesn't exist in our home. So a lot of people say, money is a top reason for divorce. How do we keep it from being a source of tension? Money is never tension for us because we both work and we both bring in money. Yeah. That's just the bottom line.
We don't even look at it as, because a lot of people kind of separate it in the sense of, this is your work, this is your money, this is what you're making. We don't even look at it as that because we combine everything, like we said, the bills, everything is combined. If one thing has to get paid, it doesn't matter whose name is on it. The bottom line is we are both responsible for it.
Matter of fact, wisdom. Let me share some wisdom. When you said it doesn't matter whose name is on it, there are things that we intentionally put in my name. There are things that we intentionally put in your name. Because there are instances where you're going to need something in your name. There are instances where I need something in my name, as far as utility bills and things are concerned. Right. So this is just wisdom. You don't want to put everything in one person's name.
No, we split.
You don't want to do that. And we don't say, some people say, well, you work, I work. Your money is your money, my money is my money. You give me 50% of your income, I give you 50% of my income, and that 50% we use it to do whatever we got to do that concerns the both of us. Again,
that nothing wrong with
that. If that works for you, sure. For us, everything is 100%.
I think because
now, how we make sure that it doesn't become a source of tension for us. A lot of times,
money is a big thing.
Tension, and the reason why sometimes it's tension. Maybe because sometimes it's one person bringing in the money. Yeah. Somebody brings it in, another person spends it. And also, of course, you don't mind, and most of the time it's not a problem, but sometimes it is a problem.
Sometimes it is a
Sometimes
problem.
when you see the spender overspending, you're like, yeah, what are you doing? Like, I work my butt off to get this money, and here you are blowing it and wasting it, right? In our case, that's not the same.
Exactly.
I mean, there are times where my wife was, she's pregnant. The pregnant was crazy. She had to stop working altogether. That didn't mean anything.
It didn't change. It didn't change any dynamics.
Anything,
it just,
And the baby came and everything was good. And hey, I'm ready to get back in there. I'm ready to start, producing and making money. What you got for me? All right, let's do this. And then, of course, we're producing. So we're both producers in the home. And we're both bringing profit into the home. And there's nobody's efforts that is
more important than the other.
Belittled, right? We don't overlook somebody's efforts and say, well, you're not doing enough. As far as income is concerned, I'm doing 70, you're doing 30, 60, 40, or 50. No,
that doesn't matter. It doesn't exist.
Here's the thing. If my daughter, for example, when she gets older and she start making money, she's bringing that money in the family too. And we're going to combine that money and build with that money.
Hey, man. Wait till she hears this. She's going to be like, what? What did you say, Daddy?
Remember, I was talking to you about say what you will about our fathers and our grandfathers and things like that, right? The Commonwealth. Back in the day, our grandfathers, my grandfather, for example, had 3 wives.
Same.
And thinking about that, you're like, oh, he was a freaky one. Oh, he was what's the word? Like you look at them and you're like, oh, they're getting it on. They're getting freaky and all that stuff like that. Do you know that that's not how they were thinking? They didn't think about it like, oh, I'm the man, and I got all these girls. I'm a player.
Girls around me.
It was a survival mechanism. For some of them messed around, of course. They had concubines and all that stuff like that. But some of them needed to have 3 wives. Some of them needed to have 2 wives because of economic reasons. That if I go to work and the 3 wives go to work, we bring our money together. Now we can live on the 21 acres of land with all our families. So my grandfather, for example, had 3 wives and 21 kids in total. You know what I'm saying? Had 21 kids in total. And I mean, it's a big family. But if you go to my village and you go to our family house, huge. I'm like, huge. And it's still there to today. So being able to combine that kind of income and put effort together and produce,
everybody.
It benefited everybody. And it made you look like you were balling. Because you were able to do that. So what am I saying? As far as finance is concerned, we also benefit from shared finance. Right? Where the things that I would maybe struggle doing by myself, I don't have to struggle anymore because we have 2 income. The things that she would struggle maybe trying to do by herself, she don't have to struggle anymore. It doesn't have to take as long anymore because we have combined income. And so the person who was making $50,000 before is now exposed or has the spending power of 100,000.
Correct.
You follow what I'm saying? He's making 50, but he has a spending power of 100. Because 2 people are both making 50 each.
Absolutely.
You follow what I'm saying? So if the husband back in the day had 3 wives, 4 wives, and everybody was doing $50,000 per. So now you got 4 people doing $50,000 per. That's $200,000. Yes, one person is making 50, but they have a $200,000 spending power. Big difference.
And I think the issue with, I guess not really the issue, but the way people think in the sense of, well, it been my money. We didn't carry or don't have the mentality of it's mine, it's yours in this marriage. It's ours. Everything is ours. That's the way we see it. Something as little as drinking water. My husband had a bottle of water yesterday, and he got it for himself, put water, ice, everything. And he's drinking and he's like, do you want water? I'm like, I thought you got it for us. And he's like, what? I got it for me. Just joking it. But we don't think like that. We think like everything we do is literally together. And it's a matter of, there's no your bill, my bill. It's our bill. Everything is ours, to the point that, like, to even break it down for some people, we have obviously a joint account, but we each have our own card. So whenever I'm out, he's out, need to get something, I need to get something, we have access to the money. But it's a matter of, and think about it in this way too, it helps us communicate to each other as well. If I need to get something that costs a certain amount of money that is a little bit extreme, I communicate that with my husband, and vice versa. He does the same with me. We literally have a conversation. I need to get this, I need to buy this, I need to do this, I need to do that. And it's like, yeah, go ahead and do it. Okay, are you sure that makes sense? Are you sure? Like, we have financial communication, and what it does is it helps us hold each other responsible financially. Well, we're not just spending it and say, well, it's my money, I can spend it however I see fit. Right. Because sometimes you could get yourself in trouble that way, but we hold each other responsible, where it's like, listen, I understand you want to buy this thing right now, but listen, we got this and that. Let's cover that first before we jump into that.
We're not thinking about how it affects me.
Yeah, exactly. I don't really care if I need to get my nails done. I'm gonna get my nails. I'm gonna be like, Ayofe, I need to get my nails done. All right, what day you going? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a thing of, oh, it's my money, so I'm gonna go whenever. That mentality we don't subscribe to in our marriage and in our home, because everything is literally oneness. I'm
telling you. And this is how we kind of prioritize, how we view our financial priorities, right? Because sometimes, like, I remember a long time ago, for our business, we needed certificates. We had to get certificates, and it was beneficial for me to get it and you to get it as well, right? Yeah. But from a financial priority standpoint, we said, let me get the certificate first. Yeah. And then if you still need that certificate, you then go get it. Yeah. But if we got it together at the same time, it'd be too much.
A lot.
It would have been a lot for right now. Yeah. But let one person get it first, and then if it's needed, you can get it later. Yeah. And we put the money together to get that certificate. Yeah. We got it. And it's been working.
And it was the right choice. And it was the right choice. You needed to have it more than I did at that time.
The person who doesn't have that understanding would then turn that into something else and say, how come you get to get it and I don't?
Exactly. We don't subscribe to that mentality.
How come you get to have the certificate?
What is the greater good for our family? What benefits our family right now? That's what we look at. It's not about you. It's not about me.
If you came to me and said, babe, I got to get this certificate. It'll do this and this for our family.
Exactly.
I'm like, yes, please.
Let's do it.
Go ahead and get it. But if it's not like, oh, I got to get that certificate because it'll just make me look good. Right. And it'll be a point of fulfillment for me. And I would just be more fulfilled and my life would be much better, blah, blah, blah. You're not talking to me. Right. You're not saying anything that makes any sense to me. Right. I'm sorry. But if you come to me and say, it's going to benefit our family in this way or that way, we will be able to, that word we and us. Yeah. Oh yeah, you got my attention every day, all day. Yeah. Because that's, as a family man, that's what I'm all about.
And people always think that when you do things together, or when you think in that aspect of we, it takes away from individual identity. And they're very wrong about that. Hey. Because when you have the mentality of you're doing life together, you're one, you don't neglect each other's individuality or each other's identity.
I got something.
As a matter of fact, you help each other grow. Yep. There was many times in the past where my husband would be like, listen, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. Are you doing this or are you doing that? Mm-hmm. You got to figure it out. Okay, don't get too comfortable. Don't relax. You got to get on it.
I'm looking for somebody to support you and push you on.
For somebody that cares only about themselves, they won't think that way. Yep. But because we're in this together, because anything that affects me affects my family. Yeah. Anything that affects him affects the family. Yeah. When we say we need to do this for the family, it's beneficial to me, but in the bigger picture, it benefits my family.
Yes.
That's the mentality. So people need to kind of like stop trying to deduce or reduce individuality or identity just because you're focused on the greater picture. Come on now.
I'm going to say something that may not be a popular opinion, and I'm going to say it anyways, and you can make of it whatever you want. But here's what I got to say. I believe, right, that individualism comes from insecurity. Don't shoot the player now. Individuality comes from insecurity. You believe that you need your own identity and you need to be an individual of yourself because there's been some level of insecurity in the togetherness.
Right.
In other words, if I don't feel secure,
safe and secure
and safe
yes.
in this us and we thing,
yes,
I gotta
need
look
to
out for
protect
myself.
Oh yeah.
And so we breed that. And a lot of times that insecurity can be our insecurity.
Yeah.
Sometimes it could be shared insecurity.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it could be somebody else's insecurity by extension.
Exactly.
Right? Maybe your mom was disenfranchised. She was marginalized by her husband, and their union did not have a we and us vocabulary.
Yeah.
And so you're like, yeah, now I'm not gonna let what happened to my mom happen to me.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take care of myself.
Yeah.
In other words, the insecurity may not have started with you, but it's coming from somewhere. Many times when we're all about individualism and myself and me, it's because we're feeling insecure about something.
Yeah.
Either it's our insecurity, or we're sharing in somebody else's insecurity, or it's insecurity by extension. It doesn't concern you.
Yeah.
You don't have to share in it, but you just feel like
take
I
it
just
upon
gotta take
yourself.
care of myself.
Exactly.
Because I can't believe that man would do that to that lady.
Right.
I can't believe my dad would do that to my mom.
You haven't even experienced it.
You haven't even experienced it.
Yeah.
And you just want to protect yourself. Matter of fact, sometimes it may not even be something bad. It could literally be like, for example, a husband passed away and he didn't leave much to his wife.
Yeah.
And so now she's at a position where she can't really take care of herself.
Exactly.
She's exposed.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, my dad loved my mom and that's beautiful and all, but he didn't do much to protect her and keep her secure.
Yeah.
And so because I don't want that to happen to me, I have to protect myself. Again, it's a level of insecurity, but it's understandable. But what I'm saying is, what we have to do, especially men, and I'm gonna address the men on this one. Please try as much as possible to empower your wife.
Absolutely.
Try as much as possible to help your wife to live without you.
Yeah.
That if something were to happen to you, she's not left hanging.
Yeah.
She's not out there in the cold. Same thing with the woman. Help your husband to be able to live without you.
Yeah.
That if something were to happen to you, your husband is not going to be exposed.
And that's where the togetherness comes in, because when you're doing it together.
Sorry. I just wanted to say, to kind of close out on that. Help them, and what I mean by helping them is empower them.
Right.
Empower them. There was a time where I started doing this business that we're into now, and it's going good.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. And I said to myself, you know what? I'm gonna bring you into this thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need you jumping on this as well. And yes, of course, 2 is better than 1.
Yeah.
If we're both making the kind of income, awesome. But more than that, I wanted you empowered as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
I wanted you to know how to do what I do. I wanted you to know how to make what I make.
Yeah.
I wanted you to have the skill sets, the talents, the training, whatever you needed to be empowered.
Yeah.
And of course, you were like, there's many of times I told you, do this, and you would complain from now to tomorrow. I don't want to do it, blah, blah, blah. You already doing it. Why do I got to do it? I'm like, lady, listen, just follow my lead.
Yeah.
Do it. It's hard right now, but let me tell you something. When the benefits start rolling in, you would thank me.
Yeah.
And lo and behold,
come on.
Amen. All right. So.
Right. So I was just gonna say that's where that togetherness comes in. For us, the way we've seen it is because we're doing it together. There's nothing that's going on in our family or in our home that I don't know about or he doesn't know about.
Yep.
Sometimes some people will be like trying to get some information about him or something, and he'll be like, actually, can you talk to my wife? And I literally, if I want to, if not because I have the God in me, right? I can take everything, all his information. I could go to the town with it. No, but the point is, because you guys are invested in each other's life like that, there's no way anything is going on that I don't know about. Anything is going on that he doesn't know about. And for example, he has to travel, he has to go away, he has to, whatever the case may be, that he has to be away. I'm fine and I'm secure enough to be able to hold down the fort. Same thing with him. If I have to travel, if I have to, he's fine enough to be able to hold down the fort. Even with our kids, even as much as with our kids and our family, in the sense of it's not just, and because some people like to think about it like, okay, well, with the man, you know, we're talking finances. Okay, fine. Even with the women, we're talking about even with the kids. I don't just take care of the kids by myself. I don't just care for them. There's times where he's been home with them by themselves and I had to go for this meeting or that meeting, and he's taking care of the baby girl. Like, the bottom line is he knows how to handle the home just like I do, or the family. So it goes by, and that's just that togetherness, doing life, literally doing life together.
All right. We're going to wrap it up on tonight, or this moment, because we talked about friendship, we talked about romance, and we talked about finance.
Yes.
We're going to wrap it up on this morning, but we really just wanted to come here and share what we do, what works for us, and hope that it's a blessing to you. Please comment down below. Let us know if you were blessed by this episode. If you would like us to talk more about us and share some of the things that we do in our home. I mean, it hasn't always been rosy.
No,
you know,
absolutely
we can talk about conflict, how we had a big fight.
Right? We could talk about
and
that.
we solved that and didn't let that affect anything. So there's a lot to talk about. From a parenting standpoint, from a husband, how we raise our children,
how we get on the same page,
how we balance being busy, ministry and marriage.
Absolutely.
We can talk a whole lot about that. but let us know in the comment section what you would like us to talk more about. It'll be our joy to share what we believe has been working for us. But that is all we have for today. I hope we've shared a tip or two to help solidify your kingdom union, not only with yourself, right, the person of self, but also with others, and most importantly with God on today.
Yes. Don't forget to like, to share, to subscribe, and comment down below.
And until next time, be the light,
be the salt,
and remember,
all things are possible if you believe.
Ciao, ciao, ciao.